Shortly after the premiere of their award-winning film about homosexuality in the army, the lockdown was announced, leaving producers to find alternative ways of getting their project to South African audiences and abroad.
Vergeet van alles wat jy dink jy weet. Jy is nie meer iemand nie. Julle is rowe. 7. En is ons werk. 8. Julle rowe te probeer maak. 9.
Morphy is the second film by Oliver Hermanus and only the fourth South African film to receive an official invitation to the Venice Film Festival in its 76-year existence. Followed by sold-out screenings in Italy and at the London Film Festival, where it was in competition for the Best Film Prize. Now it has officially made its way to its intended audience, South Africa.
Morphy is the story of a young man named Nicholas who is conscripted to the army in 1981. And the film journeys with him for 2 years on this road to self-discovery, but also to being very indoctrinated by the apartheid military and government. The title of the film is the title of the book, and for the author of the book, it is a provocation about the word that was used to shame him and to shame many other men. And the title of the film for us is an expansion of that, is about the fact that the film's interest is the weaponizing of this word to diminish and to dehumanize and to demoralize and to demasculinize men.
The word morphy is a uniquely South African slur that has been used to marginalize and shame anyone who is not hyper-masculine for many years. The making of such a movie and using such a bold title was to provoke conversation around the subject matter.
I think it is a perfect title. I believe that every word has the value that a person personally puts to it. To say it, like I'm in the movie Morphy. When people ask me, what movie are you in? I say Morphy. And then they go, what are you talking about? And then I say, it's a movie that needs to communicate to people what went down, what was wrong with it.
Friend on a lonely, dusty road.
But even though this controversial film looks strongly at themes of sexuality, indoctrination and racism, it also touches on the generations of damage that it has left.
It's interesting for me because I have an adopted brother of color, and it's interesting the change that has happened so quickly in our country, or the supposed shift. And I think we like to sweep a lot of things under the carpet and think that we've progressed so much. But sometimes when you make a film set in 1981, it's kind of disturbing how close it is to the reality of now.
But just as it premiered on the red carpet, lockdown struck, forcing the producers to find more creative ways to get their baby out there.
Obviously, it was tremendously sad for us at the time that lockdown happened, shocking like for everybody in the world, and sad because we'd worked terrifically hard on our campaign in South Africa to get people into the cinemas. However, we were lucky enough that our producer, Eric Abraham, had already been ahead of the curve in a sense and had been trying to put together a streaming platform of our own. So when this happened, we had to quickly jump ahead of where we were with that and try and get it out as quickly as possible.
Despite this minor setback, however, responses to the film have been positive, both in South Africa and in the UK, where it was also just recently released via streaming platforms.
We've had an overwhelmingly great response from South Africa. It has been... We've all been so proud, actually, when people have a lot of people have reached out to us to send comments, to say thank you, to say it reminded them so much of a part of their history. People that weren't around at the time sending messages to us saying they had no idea that this was how things, happened at the time. And we've had an outrageously amazing outpouring of incredible press, of people, in the UK talking about the film. We've all been blown away, actually. I mean, we've had 4 stars in The Guardian, people like Peter Bradshaw giving us amazing reviews. We've gotten, it's blown up in the UK basically, which is so exciting for a South African film.
In anticipation of the film's South African release, Hermanus shared and discussed the film with a select few gay men for whom he has great admiration, and sat down to talk to them about their experience of the word morphe. Among the topics the video touches on is how the word has affected their lives.
Hey, sure. You know where we're going?
I use it amongst my friends today. It's really loose, and we actually pretty much joke about it all the time. But I think that's only because we are men that are morphes, essentially. I mean, I really can't remember how young I was, but when I heard it for the first time, I definitely knew that it was something that wasn't good. I couldn't even necessarily hide the fact that I was a morphe, so every single time I was targeted with that word morphe, it just always stung quite a bit. That trauma can kind of creep in sometimes, like as you get older. Right now, it's definitely something that I feel really proud to be.
Do whatever you can to stay invisible.
Food has become a big part of the lockdown, with everyone trying new recipes at home. It's Africa Month, and we know you will be showing off with African cuisine. So why not send us those snaps, tag us on your Instagram at Trendz on SABC using the hashtag SABC News. Welcome back. Having grown up in a tavern, Thembinkosi Hlatshwayo's life was marked by violence. Now he grew up to become a photographer, and through his artwork, he takes us back to his past.
Material sweat, walking on the edge of a crouch.
The current state of the health affairs has changed the way artists showcase their work. While theatres and art galleries have closed their doors to the public at a time when the world is fighting the battle against the coronavirus. Trendz Travel had the opportunity to interact with Johannesburg-based photographer Thembinkosi Hlatshwayo, who is currently showcasing his art exhibition titled Slaggees online.
To see where that child...
Slaggees is an Afrikaans word meaning a slaughterhouse. But this exhibition is not about any killings. Comprising of a series of black and white still photographs, the artwork details Hlatshwayo's life by telling a tale of how his life was growing.
The title, Slaggees, the title comes from the tavern, the Kaya. We have a tavern, and Dala. After it was established in 1996. It was the it place, and it was a very hectic place. There was a lot of violence, and so because of that violence, the community titled or coined the place the name Slaggees.
The space where the artwork is currently on display has transformed the gallery into a dark and cold space, recreating the look and feel of the trauma that inspired Hlatshwayo's collection.
So the exhibition, or the work Slaggees, seeks to perhaps have a dialogue around our scars, our emotional turmoils, emotional struggles, our traumas, It seeks to ask the question of what's your tavern, what's your scar, and how are you dealing with it, really dealing with these scars. Yeah, I think that's what the work intends to do, really. You know, because for me, it's more on healing. You know, on healing, on transformation, also on freeing myself. You know, so I hope that it inspires the same thing for the next.
The exhibition is going to be running online for 5 weeks. During that time, Tlatjayo will engage with those on social media platforms. Every week, the exhibition will be themed from music, dialogue, as well as a Slaggeest challenge. To partake in the Slaggeest challenge, the artist will engage with his followers by asking them to send pictures that interpret the title of the exhibition.
The streets of New Orleans are not the same. The vibrancy of tap dancers, instrumentalists, and people singing at street corners has left town. But maybe not totally. When pedicab operator Sarah Grant and French Quarter Street violinist Anna Rosnowska realized after the lockdown that their lifestyles and livelihoods were threatened, they were initially at a loss. It did not take them long to come up with Plan B, so they took the show on the road.
I mean, I heard it before I saw it. I thought it was our neighbors blasting music. I'm like, they play instruments now? And I'm like, what is this? And then I saw it and I'm like, breathtaking. You know, this is definitely what I need. I'm reading, I'm drinking wine. And it's very New Orleans-like. I mean, I am new here, but I think during the time that we're at right now, it's appreciated. It is. I'm on a high right now, low key.
One from Maine, northeast of the US, and one from Poland. These two ladies collaborated and formed the Mobile Music Box, a concert on wheels that winds around the streets of New Orleans neighborhoods.
I think that the moments between strangers are so incredibly important. So important to talk to each other, to learn from each other. There was a movie, I'm forgetting the name, but it has this great line that, like, I think if God exists anywhere, it's in like the space between two people. And so especially during a time like this, when we're seemingly separated from the community, other people that we love, and when a lot of very scary stuff is shown on the news, I felt it was really important to get out into the community and actually see the faces of the people in the city that I live in.
I'm sure it happened to you and to other people many times, and you're like troubled, and all of that is, whatever is happening to your life is too much, and then you hear a song or a piece of music, and there is suddenly a switch in you. There's suddenly something happening that's even beyond your own understanding. And that's what music does to us, So I feel like I love playing music, and when I play music, I feel very purposeful.
Each day they wake up, pick a route, and hit the road, trying to reach every place possible. They accept tips, but more so the good vibes coming their way. This was born out of love. Love for the music and people. People like being outdoors and really miss the concerts and the local hangout spots. The internet also doesn't give that authentic feeling.
It's amazing and uplifting, and live music is what we miss most right now, and it brings everyone out and makes everyone feel like it's a beautiful day again.
Some might have stepped outside thinking it's the ice cream truck, but nope, it's a road show. Literally.
Fantastic.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Great. Something to cheer up the neighbor.
To keep making laugh, to keep from crying. Because these walls is killing everybody. You'd be glad to go outside and see something like this. Do something, move around.
I hope this encourages all artists out there to find creative ways to engage their usual audience with their craft.
Sadly, we have come to the end of our show. Do join us again next week, same time, same place. And to all the fabulous mothers, aunties, and grandmothers out there, we would like to wish you a happy Mother's Day for tomorrow. Stay safe and stay home.